3. All right. Okay. So, new year. What I don't want to happen to you this year is to make big goals. Maybe you don't even write them down. Maybe you're like, oh, I'd love to accomplish this year, right? And that's kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall. What I don't want to happen is that you make some big goal, or you say some big goal, or maybe you even write down a couple big goals. And then you get to the end of this year and you're like, oh, those goals that I had at the beginning of the year, none of them happened. I wasn't able to achieve any of them because you didn't have a plan and you didn't really know how to kind of break them down, reverse engineer it, so that all year long, you're setting yourself up and hitting smaller goals that are going to push you to hit those bigger goals, right? So what I want to start today is how I kind of start my goal setting for the year. And it's really more of a brain dump on different aspects of your life. So if you have a pen and something to write with, get that out. I'll take you through the different categories I do, and then I'll tell you kind of what my process is in this preliminary process kind of. So one category is personal goals. That might be, waking up earlier. It might be washing my face before bed, washing my makeup off before bed. That's a simple one, right? And I'm gonna talk about like things like that. So any personal goals, your career and business goals, your financial goals. Finances are very important. If you're ignoring your finances, stop it. It's super important to pay attention to your finances. Personal growth, personal development goals, hobbies and fun goals, relationship goals. That can be marriage, friendships, parenting, any relationships, physical health goals, and then mental, emotional, spiritual goals. So those are all the categories that I do. And then what I do is I literally start to brain dump anything and everything that I want out of those categories. It can be big or small, and I literally brain dump it all. So I'm not just like, okay, and I'm not setting any dates at this point. I'm not saying like, okay, my yearly goal in this category is this. I'm literally just brain dumping exactly like if it was a perfect scenario and I was doing everything in each category that was really, truly fulfilling to me, made me feel proud, made me feel accomplished, anything that I want to do. And so, like I said earlier, like the personal goal, a simple one that I brain dumped was washing my face before bed every night. I have a tendency to go to bed with my makeup on. I know that's not good for my skin, right? So that's a very simple one, right? So that's just in my personal goal. Getting up earlier might be one. So it literally is like from the simplest, littlest ones, right? Maybe it's you're going to move your body and go on a walk for 10 minutes a day for your physical one. Or maybe your bigger one is I want to lose 25 pounds this year. So literally you're brain dumping everything, right? Like maybe your finances is you're going to start balancing your checkbook. No one balances a checkbook anymore, but that's just maybe you're, having a balance sheet, getting a profit and loss sheet. So maybe a simple one for finances is tracking my profit and loss, right? Or maybe a big financial one is I want to make $25,000 a month by the end of the year. So like anything from like little daily things to big goals are brain dumped in each category. And then what I do is I sit down and I look at what can I do right now? Like what is simple that I can start implementing today, right? Like those simple ones like washing my face, right? Those are ones that I can control that. I can do that right now. That's not, I can't lose 25 pounds by tomorrow, but I can start washing my face. So I literally look at, and I take out of each category, the very simple, like I can do this tomorrow type things that I want to accomplish, right? And I take those out in every category and I write those down. These are simple ones, simple action steps that I can literally do today to accomplish, right? And so it's not necessarily just goals, big goals, but it's really like daily disciplines and habits, because changing your daily disciplines and changing your daily habits are what is going to get you to those bigger goals. So, a profit and loss statement in your business, especially if you're making a lot of money. A profit and loss statement in your business is something that you can start today, right? That's going to help you maybe pay off that $25,000 in credit card debt that you want to pay off, or figuring out what money you have coming in and what money, getting your budget. Maybe it's like, I need to get a budget going this year and see where I'm really at, And so you figure out what money you have coming in, what money you have going out, what's left over. That's something you can do right now. And then you can start working on, okay, I'm going to put this much away every month or towards my credit card debt so I can pay off my credit card debt. That's my big goal at the end of the year, is to have my $25,000 in credit card debt paid off. Okay. So these little things that you start piecing out, I want you to then attach them to doing this daily discipline. What is that going to help me achieve in a month, in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, in a year? Where are those bigger goals, right? So if like your profit and loss statement is one, like I just said, maybe that's going to help you then pay off the credit card debt. Or if you want to make $25,000 a month in your business by the end of the year, what do you need to do? What are the daily disciplines that you need to do every day that you can control right now that you can start doing? So then when you do that, when you piece out the little ones, okay, these I can do all the time, right? Then I want you to look at what are like small monthly goals. What are the goals that I should be able to get done in a month? Or I should be able to get done in 2 to 3 months, and write those down next. So next, after you take the little ones, the daily habits and disciplines in each category, you're going to write those down. Then you're going to look at what are the goals when I do this, what are the goals that are shorter term goals that are, I can accomplish 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, within 3 months. Those are short-term goals. If you guys don't have the book, The 12-Week Year, it's really, really good. And it talks about all this stuff about how to take your year, because we all have these year goals. And if we just set yearly goals, the likelihood of you hitting those big yearly goals, if that's all you're focused on, is going to be slim to none. And that's why people set New Year's resolutions and set the same one every single year, because they don't know how to do the 12-week year. And so that book talks about how your yearly goals, how you break those down to every 12 weeks. What are you going to accomplish this 12 weeks of the year? And then what are you going to accomplish the next 12 weeks, and so on, so that by the end of the year, you've accomplished all the things to lead you up to hitting those big yearly goals. Went to the gym this morning. Yay. I was just seeing if I had any questions. So then you're going to look at what can I accomplish in a month or 2 months? And I want you to then get a plan. And a lot of those daily disciplines, or the smaller things that you took out, they're going to fit right into that plan. So let's say you want to hit a certain rank in your business in a month. Maybe by the end of January, you're like, I want to hit diamond, or whatever that is for you, sapphire, whatever, ruby, diamond. What's the volume? You need to know how to hit it, right? What do I need in volume on my lesser leg? How many enrollments is that on a starter pack? Or how many bottles of Zenith is that if it was a distributor purchasing, or customers are doing half and half? How many bottles of Zenith do I need on that lesser leg? How many do I have now, looking at where you're at now? And then what do I need to do every day? How many people do I need to talk to? How many TikToks do I need to make? How many times do I need to go live? How many follow-ups do I need to do every day? And really tying daily habits and daily disciplines and action steps to each of those smaller term goals. Because if you don't have any action steps on how you're going to achieve it, like if I had someone one time say, well, I want to, what was it? They wanted to open up a home for domestic violence or something. I can't remember what it was, some sort of big goal. And I'm like, okay, what's your plan? How are you going to hit that? And they had no clue. I'm like, how much does it take to start a domestic violence shelter? No clue. Like, they didn't reverse engineer any of it. So they had no idea, like, how much money do you need to do that? Do you need staff? What kind of equipment do you need? What kind of funding, all this stuff. Like, do you need permits? All these things. Like, when we wanted to do our food truck, right? We're like, okay, we have no idea how to do a food truck. So what do we need to do this? We need to figure out, we need to talk to other food trucks. We need to see, what kind of food costs people are spending, what kind of overhead food trucks have, where do we get a food truck? Like, all these things that you have to like break out. So if you have a goal, if you're just like, this is what I'm going to do, this is my goal. I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year, but you have no action behind it. You have no plan, no preparation, and you haven't even thought about it, or you haven't written it down. The chances of you losing 50 pounds this year are going to be very slim. You're not going to do it because you have no plan. And if you don't plan and prepare and figure out, okay, so every day, what does that look like for me? How do I move the needle forward, right? It's not just a goal sitting over here and I'm going to hope and pray and wish that I get there. I need to break it down and figure out, what does it take? People that are, 50 pounds lighter than me, what do they do every day? How do they eat? Do they exercise? They probably exercise. They probably don't eat fast food every day. And looking at your habits, do they line up with you achieving those goals? Maybe some of your habits already line up with the goal that you have up here, and you're working on it, right? But looking at, okay, where am I at? What do I do every single day? And if what I do every single day, is that getting me closer to the goal? Is it moving me this way? Or am I just doing a lot of busy work, or not really taking action, or playing small, or getting in my own way, or I'm self-sabotaging, or I take two steps forward and then I stop, I lack consistency. And then looking at where you need growth, where you need to develop skills, to develop mindset, to develop your growth. Maybe there's new skills that you need to learn. Right? If you want to be a top network marketing leader, you probably need to learn leadership skills, right? Okay, I don't know how to really lead a network marketing team. I didn't before. I need to learn leadership skills, right? And if I want to be a top network marketing leader, what do top network marketing leaders do? Am I showing up on social media like a top network marketing leader? Am I leading in a way that they lead? Am I playing big? Am I doing the do? Am I taking action? So making big goals is great, but if you don't back that up with breaking it down into smaller little bites and smaller action steps to get you to those goals, and this is a process. This process isn't going to be like an hour process and you're done. Like, I'm still working on mine, and I started this mid-December, and most of December was reflection, right? And then it was like at the end of December, I started to get into my 2023 goal setting stuff, and I'm still working on it. It's still work in progress here. So doing this is going to take time. It's going to take effort. Yes. Small goals to celebrate your wins. Yeah, definitely celebrate. Definitely have some things to reward yourself, right? You want to be rewarding yourself along the way. And that's a good way to help you stay consistent. If you're a person that's like, okay, after I reach out to 10 people, I'm going to reward myself with scrolling on social media. I do that. If I'm like, okay, I'm find myself scrolling, I'm going to stop scrolling. I'm going to reach out to 10 people first, then I can scroll. Or let's say you exercise all week long and hit your exercise goals all week long. Celebrate yourself and go, get a pedicure or buy yourself some new workout clothes, like reward yourself along the way. That's a really good point. Whoever said that, is to celebrate yourself small wins along the way. And we'll get into more of that too. But this part, I just want you to brain dump. I just want you to brain dump in every single category. Oh, interesting, Kelly. You've never heard the term reverse engineering until you stepped into this industry. Yes, reverse engineering. Yep, it's so important to set it. And then how do I get there? What does it take to get there? What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? Where do I need to develop? What skills am I lacking that I don't have that are going to get me there? There's some things that I have that I want to do, like my podcast. I'm going to launch a podcast this year. And I'm like, okay, I've never done this before. I have no idea. I think I need equipment. So then I have to go learn that, right? I have to learn like how to get a podcast onto the podcast Apple iTunes and the podcast apps. I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn editing. I don't know how to edit clips. I'm going to take this and I'm going to learn how to edit this clip and put it on a podcast. There's things I don't know how to do. So I can't just say I'm going to start a podcast and then hope and then just wing it, right? There's skills I need to learn and to develop. So looking at this part, I just want you to brain dump. I don't want you to get too caught up during this phase of when, dates, anything like that. I just want you to take each of those categories and I want you to brain dump your perfect life in each of those categories. How do you truly want to live in each of those categories? And it's going to, don't think about like what society, how society wants me to live in those categories, or, you might not have a goal to lose weight. That's okay, right? But how do you want to live and how do you want to feel in each category? What would make you feel like you are crushing it in your life in each of those categories? Because your life is a circle. Every part, every piece, right? All these categories that I said, they all interact with each other. And you're going to hear this, and I've said this before, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are playing small, let's say you're playing small and self-sabotaging in your business, you're probably self-sabotaging if you looked at other areas of your life in other areas of your life. I certainly was. When I was in my full-on self-sabotage, I was sabotaging other areas of my life, not just my business, because it bleeds over into other areas of your life. So looking at each category of your life and looking at what I would truly feel fulfilled. I'm crushing it in this category. These are all the things, and just brain dump. Even like I said, the little things like mine, washing my face before I go to bed every night, washing my makeup off before I go to bed every night. That's silly, but to some people, right? But it's something that I'm like, it's been bothering me that I don't do that. And I know that I want to do that. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't, but that's when I'm going to be consistent on washing my face every night. It's something I can control right now. So just brain dump everything small, everything big in each of these categories. And then take out all the small ones, take out all the little things that you literally could start today, because those are going to give you those small wins that you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, okay, boom, I had this on my goal sheet and I'm doing it. I did it today. I got momentum in this area. I can do it again tomorrow, right? My one, juicing, I juice every day. And so I just juiced today. Okay, first juice of 2023. I'm on a roll. I'm going to keep doing it. So take out all the small ones that you could literally start today in each category, and then start them. And then put it into your calendar, put it into your planning. I do a Sunday planning every week, and I sit down and I look at, okay, what are those goals that I have that I want to accomplish, right? Big and little. And then some of them you're not going to have to write down. I don't have to write down washing my face at night, right? But exercise, I write down. My miracle morning, I write down. Anything I need to do to help me achieve some of those goals that I have, like the podcast, those are written down in my Sunday planning, or else they're not going to get done. So I sit down on Sunday, I look at my week. What am I looking to accomplish this month? My smaller goals. And then what every week is going to move the needle forward to get me there? What can I do this week on each of those? I look at my categories. I look at my finances. I look at my business, and I say, what are things that are going to move the needle forward? And then I put those into my calendar. Okay, today you're going to buy the equipment for the podcast, right? You're going to get the name. I have the name already, but there's things that need to be done so that every day I can be working on that. At the end of the week, I'm ready to go with launching my podcast or whatever it is. That's just an example. So the 12-week year, great book, go buy it. So this phase, again, just brain dump, and then take out all the little things that you can do, start today, and then start them, right? You have to take action. So the things that you take out, they're like, okay, I could do this. When that time comes to do it, like tonight, when I'm too tired to wash my face, I'm going to go, no, you're going to go in there and wash your face. You're not too tired. You're not going to fall asleep today. You're going to go wash your face. Or now that I know that I wrote it down, once it's written down, you guys, once you write stuff down, it becomes so much more solidified and gains so much more power than just a thought in your brain. So the thought in my brain has always been, I'm going to wash my face before bed. Always. That's a thought in my brain, right? But now that it's written down, now I'm like, okay, before I get to the point of being too tired, I'm going to go, oh, okay, I'm still awake. I'm going to go 30 minutes earlier before I get too tired and wash my face. That way it's done for the night, right? So looking at where you can set up your habits and disciplines in your day to help you crush those small things that you have control of, those small things that you siphoned out of all the brain dump. Look at, how do I fit these in my daily habits and disciplines? Don't get overwhelmed by it. Okay. I know it's a lot, especially if you have a lot of areas of your life that you feel like you want change in. So that's why I'm helping you with the small things that you can incorporate today, tomorrow, and start right away, because that's going to help you feel like you have momentum. Once you have momentum, you feel more confident and you're like, okay, Now, this big monthly goal. Okay, let's reverse engineer that. How do I break that down and write down all the action steps that I need to get there? What does it take to get there, and how can I get there? So I hope this was helpful for you guys this morning. We'll continue on the other half of this on Thursday. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all later.